Seafood lovers, I got some lobster tails for you, and let me tell you, I have a trick that's going to prevent these delicious things from rolling up and not looking so good when they're in the pan. Although they all go to the same place, I got a trick, and that trick is the skewer. So before we get into it, there are a couple ways that you can fix lobster tails. In this particular way, I'm going to show you how to make them in a skillet because it's very easy, very simple, and as you know how I like to do it, delicious and flavorful. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing you want to do is get you a pair of shears, or you can get you a knife. I'm going to use a pair of shears in this case, and you just want to cut the lobster tail right up the top and across the belly side. I like a nice pair of strong shears because it makes less mess and it's much easier. Flip that over and look at that. When you pop that right open, that's just ready to go. Sometimes they're a little stubborn. There you go. You want to lay those out on the plate like so. What I'll be fixing today is only 4 lobster tails, but it will give you 8 lobster skewers that you can share with your family, or you can be stingy like me today and eat them for yourself. Now that we got all these cut up like so, we want to put these in the skewers, right? What we want to do is take the skewer, always measure about like so, and just cut it and break it like this. And you want to run that skewer right here. It's very easy like this, right? Doing so makes it very easy like this. And this way, when it's laying in the pan searing, it doesn't flex and keeps the lobster tail really nice and straight. So you just pop that off in the end and you'll be able to eat it really good. So I'm gonna go ahead. Now here's a tip. I forgot to give this tip. Most people say, well, if you're gonna put it in there, you put the whole thing. No, because you want the tail to be, depending on your pan size, obviously you couldn't put this whole thing in the pan. So put this here, and very simple, just break it off like so, and you'll slide that, as I stated, right through the back, and put that in there. Now what you're gonna have is you're just gonna have a nice plate full of these lobster skewers that you could just pick up really easy by the lobster skewer. And now that this is done like this, I like to go ahead and get them seasoned and get them in the pan. Now for seasoning, what we're gonna use is some parsley, some unsalted butter, some fresh lemon juice. I got some all-purpose seasoning by House of Flavor. You got some garlic butter, clarified butter, which we'll use later to top off the top. And of course, my favorite, smoked paprika mixed with a little bit of heat. Now I'm gonna cut the heat on, get the fire started. And all you need for this, you need just a little bit of olive oil in the pan. First thing I like to put up there is a little bit of fresh lemon juice. You just want to squeeze a little fresh lemon juice up there like so. Watch out for the seeds. Then on the bottom base, I'm gonna take a little bit of your spices. Just generous, not too much. We don't want to overpower the flavor of it, the natural flavor. And then you want a little bit of that smoked paprika because the color is gonna be beautiful. Like when you think of seafood, you may think seafood is only for the adults, but I know my 6-year-old daughter loves this, and I had to find a way to make it very easy for her to eat, and that's where I came up with this. So now that we got the pan nice and hot, we're gonna take these meat side down, and we're gonna place them in the pan. Now when you cook lobster tails, most times, it will shrivel up sometimes inside of the pan, and it's sometimes very difficult to eat or even season or cook appropriately. So what the skewer does is solve that problem by allowing it to have some type of support so that the lobster stays straight out, and it looks better when you serve it on the plate. And in the end, when you pick it up, the kids love it. Like I'm just gonna sneakily pull this. I mean, you see that beautiful color that's already up there, and that's been in there 1 minute. You don't need to cook these very long. And then I'll start flipping these over inside the pan because you don't want them to overcook. There we go. Let them heat up a little through there. Put a little bit of unsalted butter on the side because everything tastes better with butter. Nice. Look at that. Now with this point, I let this sit a little bit inside of there. And then I throw a little bit of minced garlic inside there, but I don't put the garlic too early because I don't want it to scorch out. So now that this is cooking from the shell side upward, it's not cooking so fast. Then I'll put the minced garlic around to just add a little bit of flavor to it. Drop that minced garlic all around. Now we'll flip that around a little bit. Look at that. They're still maintaining the shape. Beautiful color on the shell. Now that we got the garlic inside, we'll put that in there. And while that's in here, I will add in some garlic butter. It's not as much garlic in this butter. That extra added flavor inside will be extremely flavorful. So just move this all around so all the pieces get in there. And this, ladies and gentlemen, and let me tell you another bright idea. If you're having a dinner party or something else, intimate for a little bit of people, because obviously we have a lot of people, they ain't getting a bunch of lobster tails. But if you have this there, this makes an amazing meal where they can just kind of walk by, pick this up and eat it and put it back down. Doesn't make a huge mess. Amazing idea. I'm throwing some parsley over top. Beautiful, get that some color. Now I drop just a little bit of that smoked paprika just because I like the way things are looking, and let me tell you, look at that. That if you put your little twist on things, it is very easy to do. And the time you can take to get dressed, go out to eat, drive, burn gas, wait a long time, I done cooked enough lobster tails for several of us. And you can pair this with some nice vegetables, put it over some mashed potatoes, or just eat this by itself as an appetizer with some garlic bread or something. Depends on what you like it. Now I like to finish this off with a little clarified butter. So I'm gonna plate this now and show you how that goes on top. All right, and when it's done, we'll get this plated down. And it's very easy to just grab it by the skewer because wood is a good conductor of heat, doesn't get so hot. Put it in here like so. Look at that. Oh man, that's delicious. I want to take a little bit of that garlic and so forth. Put that over top of there. And let me tell you, one of the benefits of being on this side versus on your side is I can easily just take that off. And look how beautiful that is. You just take it off and you just, It is so juicy. It is so flavorful. And it's much more tender than anything. Look at this. Look at that. It pulls right out that shell. Let's look at that. This is so delicious. Thank you again for watching. I hope this solves a problem and fulfills a need at the same time. This is one of my go-tos many times. It's also in my cookbook. I didn't do it like the lobster skewers. The lobster skewers is something that I'm sharing with you now because a lot of people say, I love lobster, but it curls up in the pot, or it curls up in the pan rather. And so this definitely solves it. And just these ingredients right here is amazing. Any of the ingredients I use, if it's not typical stuff in the store, I'll put in the link below. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, leave me a comment, let me know what you thought of the video. And of course, remember that when you tell people about me and you say, wow, he's a talented young man, but he also got flavor. Thank you. Thank you in advance for hitting that subscribe button. Don't forget to share with all your seafood foodies, and I'll catch you in the kitchen next time.